The front door swung open, and in strutted Ifem, a bit tall for his age, light-skinned, and dressed in beautiful fitted school uniform. His confidence was the kind that only a first son, adored and pampered, could possess. "Mama," he beamed, dropping his backpack and rushing to embrace her. "My golden boy, Ifem. Mami Former hugged him tightly, planting loud kisses on his forehead. Welcome to my channel, where creative and captivating African stories come to life. Watch this intriguing tale, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join our community. The aroma of egusi soup filled the tiny kitchen as Mama Ifeoma hummed an old Igbo folk song. Her hands expertly stirring the steaming pot. Beads of sweat dotted on her forehead, but she didn't mind. Today was special. Her son, her pride, her golden boy was coming home from school. "Ifeoma, have you set the table?" she called, her voice sharp. 11-year Ifeoma sighed, wiping her damp hands on her faded skirt. She had just finished scrubbing the pots, yet here was another task. "Yes, Mama," she answered, adjusting the plates on the table. A large bowl of steaming egusi soup with plenty of meat sat at the center, next to a mountain of fufu. A smaller plate, barely holding a few spoonsful of soup, and one tiny piece of meat was pushed to the side for Ifeoma. The front door swung open, and in strutted Ifem, a bit tall for his age, light-skinned, and dressed in smartly fitted school uniforms. His confidence was the kind that only a first son, adored and pampered, could possess. "Mama," he beamed, dropping his backpack and rushing to embrace her. "My golden boy, Ifem. Mami Former hugged him tightly, planting loud kisses on his forehead. Ifeoma stood to the side, her arms folded, watching. It was always the same. Mama adored Ifem, doted on him like he was the air she breathed, while she, the firstborn daughter, was treated like a housemaid. Mami Former always spoke harshly to her. "Shut down your mouth. How can you compare yourself to Ifem? He is a boy, a king. Your own is to learn how to be a good wife." Ifeoma would swallow the lump in her throat. She was used to it. Everything in their home revolved around Ifem. He never lifted a finger, yet he received the biggest meats, the best clothes, and all their mother's praise. What could she do? In their household, Ifem was the sun, and she was merely a shadow. When the hen sits on her eggs, she does not know which chick will become the strongest. But Mami Former had already chosen. Dinner was lively. Mami Former fed Ifem large chunks of meat, doting on him with every bite. "Nam, how was school?" she asked, her eyes glowing with pride. Ifem wiped his mouth, leaning back lazily. "School is fine, Mama, but my class teacher is really wicked. She failed me for no reason." Mami Former hissed. "Chimeboya, what nonsense! Don't worry, I will handle it, my son." Ifeoma stared at her mother, her spoon hanging mid-air. The last time she got a B instead of an A, Mama had simply said, "Work harder, stop complaining." But here she was, ready to fight for Ebuka over a failed course. Life was indeed unfair. After dinner, while Ifeoma washed the plates, she overheard her mother making a call. Mr. Uche, it's me, Mama Ifemiolona. Yes, the same Ifemiolona. Please, help him. If there is something we can do to adjust the grace, let me know. I will send a token. Ifeoma's hands froze in the soapy water. So Mama was bribing teachers now? Ifemiolona basked in the love his mother poured on him. At school, he barely studied. Yes, when he failed, Mama Ifeoma rushed to bribe teachers. When he got into fights, she blamed the other boys. Ifemiolona cannot be wrong. She always said, but life is not a mother's kitchen where a favorite child gets the biggest portion. The cracks began to show when Ifemiolona entered secondary school. Without his mother's protection, he struggled. Assignments piled up. Subject teachers demanded results. He was lost. One day, he called home. Mama, I need money, he said, not bothering with greetings. How much, my son? 50,000 naira, Mama. Mama Ifeoma borrowed, begged, and even sold some of Ifeoma's wrappers. Ifeoma clenched her fist but said nothing. Ifeoma noticed a disturbing pattern. Ifemiolona was always in trouble, and Mama was always cleaning up his mess. One evening, a woman stormed into their house, dragging her daughter along. The girl, no older than 15 years, looked at the floor, shame written all over her face. Madam, talk to your son before I do something drastic, the woman shouted, jabbing a finger at Mama Ifeoma. Mama frowned. What is the problem? Your son, Ebuka, has impregnated my daughter. The room fell silent. Ifeoma's heart pounded. Mama Ifeoma blinked, then let out a dry laugh. Haba, madam, how can you say such a thing? My son? My Ifemiolona? He is just a small boy. A small boy, the woman scoffed. Tell him to take responsibility. Mama Ifeoma clicked her tongue. Responsibility what? My son is in school. Your daughter should know how to control herself. The woman stormed out, cursing. Ifemiolona, who had been silent, simply shrugged. Mama, that woman is just looking for who to blame, he said. Mama Ifeoma nodded. Don't mind her. You are my golden boy. Nothing will touch you. Ifeoma clenched her fists. How could her mother be this blind? Yes, pass. Ifeoma worked hard, put herself through university, and graduated with honors. She got a job, started a small business, and built a life for herself. Then came the real disaster. Ifemiolona got into trouble, serious trouble. He had been caught in an exam malpractice. Expulsion loomed. Mama Ifeoma wept, rolled on the ground, cursed the lecturers. They want to destroy my son. But the truth was there. Ebuka had never learned responsibility, and this time, no bribe could save him. Ifemiolona had never learned responsibility, and this time, no bribe could save him. Ifemiolona dropped out of school. With no discipline, no hard work, and no real skills, he found himself moving from one failed business to another, from one borrowed car to another. One day, Mama Ifeoma called Ifeoma. My daughter, please help your brother. He is struggling, she pleaded. Ifeoma sighed, rubbing her temples. But Mama, you said he was the golden boy. her voice laced with bitterness. Didn't you say nothing would touch him? Mommy Farmer sniffled. Nay, you know he is still your brother. Ifeoma exhaled. She had worked too hard to carry another person's burden, but something in her mother's voice softened her. The day Ifeoma agreed to help Ifemyalona get a job, something unexpected happened. Ifemyalona showed up at her office, drunk, demanding money instead. Ifeoma, you are rich now. What is a little money to your brother? He slurred. Ifeoma stared at him in shock. Mommy Ifeoma arrived, her eyes filled with tears. My son, please, don't be like this. Ifemyalona sneered. Oh, now, I am just your son? I thought I was your golden boy. Mommy Ifeoma broke down. Mommy Ifeoma had spent years worshipping her son, but now she saw the damage. She had raised him without accountability, and now he was lost. Ifeoma took a deep breath. I will help you, but only if you change. No more laziness. No more shortcuts, she said firmly. For the first time, Ifemyalona was visibly ashamed. That night, Mommy Ifeoma knelt before her daughter. Ifeoma, my child, I have been blind. Forgive me. Ifeoma's eyes shone with unshed tears. She had longed for this moment. Just promise me one thing, Mama. Anything, my child. Anything. Promise me you will treat your children equally. Because the one you call useless today might be your savior tomorrow. Mommy Ifeoma bowed her head. A mother's love should not be selective. The palm tree that grows beside the river does not struggle to bear fruits. She had watered only one child, forgetting that the other had a strength of her own. And that night, for the first time, she embraced both her children with equal love. Ifeoma's smile cried uncontrollably. She touched Ifemyalona's picture, while remembering the younger version of herself and Ifemyalona. It was a heartbreaking realization. Mommy Ifeoma wiped her eyes and whispered, I have failed as a mother. Ifeoma placed a hand on her ma's shoulder. It is not too late to fix things, Mama, but you have to start now. Ifeoma helped Ifemyalona get a job at a small business outlet. He arrives on time, sweeps the and tidies the environment before he opens the office for the there. He learned accountability and responsibility, and in 2 years, he built his own massive business outlet. Ifeoma got married with 3 beautiful children, while Ifemyalona engaged his fiancé. In the end, Mommy Ifeoma could not contain her joy. Her grandparents surrounded her like a river.